Hi everyone, welcome to day 6. So we're halfway through the 12 days of Christmas. So this is a bigger project, this one for me. I might have bitten off more than I can chew. And hopefully you're able to do this if you're interested in it. But I'll give you some options if this is too complex for you as well, because there's other things you can do. But the prompt for today is house. Okay, so Christmas house ornament. So I want to make my house 3D. So what I've done is I've created some templates out of cardboard that will create, and hopefully you can see this because I'll be doing it, you'll be looking at it from top down. So you have your base, your two end points. Okay, I need my walls to kind of hold it together. Two walls, sorry. It's only cardboard, I've just cut it out of scrap cardboard. Okay, really just simple house shape. And then, it's not all going to hold, but anyway, and then what you have is a roof. You'll have a roof on either side. So, I'm going to show you how I made my templates. They're pretty easy to do. I was thinking I might make a template sheet and put it on Etsy. I might do a pattern, but I'll do that later. I don't have time to do that now. So if you want to get on with this in the size that I've done, I've written down the dimensions. So you will need one base piece. My base piece is 2.5 inches across and 2 inches down. Okay, one base piece. You will need 2 walls, so 2.5 inches across and 2 inches tall. Okay, so it fits my base, and that will be the height of the wall, 2 inches. So 2 of them. You will need 2 end pieces. I'm going to show you how I did these. So they are 2 inches across, because it fits across the shorter side of my base. It is, I measured from the base here, 3 inches straight to the top. And then what I did is I marked out 2 inches up. So that's 3 inches, that's 2 inches. And once I had those dimensions, so I actually just cut a piece that was 2 inches. Let me find, here's a piece of the scrap cardboard that I use. I'll just draw it so you can see it. So I basically cut a piece of cardboard that was, let's say that's 2 inches wide. And I measured up 2 inches as well. So 2 inches. Okay, and then what I did is I measured up from the bottom 3 inches. And all I did with my ruler is from this point to this point, drew a line, and from this point to this point, drew a line. So you don't need to worry about working out your angles or anything like that. As long as you're 3 inches there and 2 inches there, and then you draw a line, you'll get your end wall. And you need 2 of them. Okay, so pretty much 2 inch square, another inch up there, and drew a line and cut it. And then my last piece was my roof. Now the roof you had to work out so that it would fit on that angle from the tip down to the edge. And for my roof part, again, it's going to be the width of my wall, so 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches across. And to go up, we needed 1 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so 2 of them. What I'll do is at the bottom in the description, I'll write down the dimensions of all my pieces. So I just used scrap cardboard that came from some packaging to cut out my templates. So the reason I've got these, they're not templates actually, the reason I've got these is ultimately these are going to give, the cardboard's going to give the structure to my house. So what I did is I traced around just on some old calico. I traced around my piece onto a base piece, and then I've picked a fabric. So this wall's going to be striped, and once I've decorated that, I am going to wrap my cardboard piece in my wall. You could use glue. I'll probably do a combination, maybe a little bit of glue and some stitching. It's hard to show you when I'm not stitching or gluing, but your piece, your wall, will be attached to the solid piece of cardboard. Okay, so what you'll end up with is all these solid pieces of cardboards covered in fabric. So for my walls, I've done, where are they, wall? Blue stripes. Blue stripes. For my end walls, I decided to go with a different fabric. It's a stripe, again, which I think will go nicely. But I've used this fabric with the little flowers on it. For my base, I just picked, you know, I'm not going to decorate my base, it's just going to be the fabric. So I picked a nice blue fabric that will go with it. And for my roof, I've picked one that had some red in it. Okay, so I think that all goes quite nicely. And now what I'm planning to do is decorate. So I'm going to start off by stitching down my decorative fabric to my base fabric, just with the standard running stitch. So I'm just going to pop off screen, get my needle and thread ready. I'll show you how I do one, then I'll turn off the camera and I'll show you them all done, because that's very basic. If I showed you all of this on camera, it would be a super long video. So I'm not going to show you absolutely everything. All right, I'll be back soon. Okay, so this is an example of what I would do, just cantha stitch. So this one is just my base piece. And now I'm going to show you what I will do to attach it to my base. So I've got my cardboard, and I am going to use some just PVA. This is just wood glue. PVA glue would be good. To just run a little bead along this side, and then fold the fabric over, and the glue's going to go everywhere. And I just realized, because I haven't stitched there, only the base fabric's going to stick down, but the glue might go through the fabric. I am using just, you know, those kind of wonder clips. And I'm just going to clip them along. Bit crooked. Let's do that again. Trial and error. I've never done this before. I'm making this up as I go along. I'm going to just straighten it up a little bit. Bit of a messy job. Am I on screen? I hope so. Okay, so I'm using the wonder clips. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to do the opposite side, a little bit thinner. Run some glue along here. Essentially, I could glue there as well, but I don't want to stiffen up the fabric too much. Eventually, I'm going to stick that side and that side. A little bit fiddly. Might be better like to leave a slightly bigger edge on your fabric. Might tuck over better in hindsight. I would do that, leave a wider edge, so you can learn that lesson from my mistake. Okay, so I'm going to leave these clips on, let this dry for a little while before I tackle the other sides. Okay. So once I stretch it, it's going to be like that. All right, so I'm just going to leave that to dry and go on to some of my other pieces. So essentially, with your other parts, you can decorate them however you want. So this is one of my end pieces. I would start by, I think, just doing a little bit of cantha stitching on this just to hold it to the base piece. So I'm going to do that first. I might just do a side piece, a wall. So I'm just using a plain machine cotton in a blue. Alright, so lesson learnt that it's actually not a bad idea to stitch close to the edge so the two bits of fabric stay together for when I want to glue it down. So just a simple running stitch. And I don't think I'll do them too closely because what I'll do is I'll be decorating my wall. Alright, so I'm going to put the camera off because you can very simply see I'm just doing a running stitch. I'm going to do it on all my walls, my end walls and my side walls, and possibly on my roof too, and I'll come back. So this part of the video is going to be sped up as I start to work on my walls and decide what I want them to look like. So this wall is going to have a Liberty door, which you can see here, and then I'm going to do some embellishing. So I'll pop some music on for you just to watch and listen, and then I'll come back on a little bit later on and tell you what's going on. so I'm sorry there's pegs on this one because I've glued it down already, but I've finished the back wall. This is the front wall. That's probably secure now, so I can take off the pegs, the pins, whatever they are, the wonder clips. So I'm not going to be able to finish the video tonight because these really should dry overnight, and then I've got more stitching to do. So that's my front wall. This is my back wall, which is 2 windows. So this is what I'm thinking for one of my side walls. That's really pretty. And I'm kind of thinking this for the other side wall, but I'm not sure yet. I might change that one up a bit. My base is pretty much done. I just would tuck in those edges there. And then my roof is stitched. Was thinking of just gluing this, like not adding anything else except just the canter style stitching. And then when I go to attach it, I was going to see, so it'll be attached kind of like that. I'm going to put cotton under it. It's hard to show you. Attached like that, kind of. I was thinking of running that, but it's going to cover up that top bit, so I probably won't. Okay, so just to give you an idea of construction, and I will come back and do this probably on Friday or on the weekend. So I'll give you part 2 of this. What are we up to? Day 6? Is that correct? I think it is. Yeah, sorry, I bit off more than I can chew. This is quite a long video. So the way that once these are all glued down and they're in place, the way you construct it is I would just get a thread and I whip stitch the pieces together. Okay, so like that's how I join. So eventually we're going to make the construction of a house. Now I did say earlier on in the video that if this whole 3D concept of a house is too difficult for you, another simple idea is just to do like the N shape and to create your house and maybe double side it and just sew it down as like a flat piece, like the Christmas tree where you're just flat with the back and front. That would be much easier if you don't want to attempt to do the 3D house. But I'm quite excited about doing the 3D house. I hope it works. Yeah, so sorry I couldn't get it all done in one video. I am going to keep stitching tonight and gluing my pieces, but I don't want to actually stitch these in place until the pieces have had a day or two to dry, because I'm just worried that they'll come off the cardboard, because the cardboard's a little bit soft on the edge until it dries. All right, so you can kind of see how it's going to be. And then in the middle where my 2 roofs meet, so they'll meet like that on an angle, right in the middle is where you'd have your cord coming out to hang it on your Christmas tree. Just putting your cord in, just be careful to make sure it's right in the middle so your house is balanced. So it's balanced both directions, because you don't want your Christmas decoration hanging on an angle. Okay, so a bit of a bigger idea. My next 3 ideas are all much bigger as well, like this one. There's a lot more to do. But it's been a really busy week. We just finished school yesterday. I had a heap of things to do today. My son's formal's tomorrow, so there's a lot to do tomorrow. And then from Friday, I finally feel like I can have some time to create. So I will be spending a bit more time doing this stuff, hopefully. And I won't be as delayed with videos as I have been. Sorry, didn't mean to bump you. Just finding extra bits and pieces. Actually, I like the green rickrack. That might go somewhere. Oh, I might put it there. Anyway, I'm still coming up with ideas. So Hope you enjoy this idea and that you can get ahead and make some stuff without me fully completing it. But if you want to wait until the weekend, I will get the second part of the video up and it will be completed. The only other thing I was going to say is I thought you could also, these houses are quite tall that way, you could narrow them down and make them wider and shorter, or you could go just tall all the way around, so a tall house, so you could change the dimensions of your house. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, sorry, one more thing. My other video, the treasure hunt video, is not going to come up tonight. Again, I just haven't had time to spend decent time on this plus that one. So that one I'm going to aim to put up on Friday. So I'm going to be 2 days delayed on that because tomorrow I'm just too busy. Okay, so sorry about that, but we'll get it up next week and I should be able to stay on schedule from Friday onwards. So I might even have 2 or 3 videos on Friday. We'll see. Okay, thanks for watching and I will see you on Friday. Bye.